Hi, I'm Chief Gary Sparks with the Douglasville Police Department. Today we want to give you some safety tips concerning traffic stops. Take a look.
So you look in your rear view mirror and see flashing blue lights. What do? Remain calm. Yield to the right and pull your vehicle over into an off-road area that is safe for both you and the officer. Put your car in park. Remove your foot from the brake and turn the radio off. Remain in your vehicle. Have your driver's license readily available for the officer. Keep your hands on the steering wheel, visible for the officer at all times. If you need to retrieve any items from the interior, explain what you're reaching for to the officer and avoid any sudden movements. Rolling the window down completely establishes a level of trust with the officer and allows for ease of interaction during the routine traffic stop. Be courteous and polite. Be cooperative and willing to follow the officer's instructions. During a routine traffic stop, the officer will return to his vehicle to run the tag and driver's license verification and complete a citation if one is necessary. Once the officer returns and approaches your vehicle, whether or not a citation or warning is issued, please remain calm, courteous, and cooperative. Sign the citation acknowledging you agree to appear in court, and do not dispute the citation with the officer. The officer will give you a court date to explain or defend your infraction.
Okay, ma'am. Like I told you, I did clock you at 51 in a 35 mile per hour speed zone. I did issue a citation, okay? This here is going to be your court date. I just need a signature from you stating that you received a copy of this citation, okay?
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. Here's your driver license.
Thank you.
Along with a copy of the citation, okay? You have any questions or concerns for me?
No, sir.
Okay, well, you have a nice day, okay?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Following these few simple steps will help ensure a safe interaction for both you and the officer.
I hope these few tips help you as it relates to dealing with law enforcement and traffic stops. Not only in traffic stops, but in all encounters with law enforcement. We hope that all our encounters are safe for the citizens as well as for our officers. Again, we want you to be safe, and if you have any problems with the Douglasville Police Department, don't hesitate to give us a call and make your concerns known. I would add that Georgia is a right to carry state, and we hope that if you are carrying, that on these traffic stops and all encounters, please let the officer know that you are carrying. This will ensure your safety and our officers' safety. Thank you, may God bless you, and may God keep our community safe. We are one.
Hi, I'm your host, Mercury's Rises, and welcome to Bedroom Chronicles, the show where couples or singles go deep, cut the crap, and face the real questions that make or break relationships. The show is informative and mesmerizing. Tonight, we are putting love on the hot seat. Are they being honest with each other, or are they just saying what is safe? Let's find out if real love starts when real truth is spoken. We have call-in guests and live interviews. Whether you heal together or apart, you owe each other honesty. That's it for tonight's Bedroom Chronicles. Until the next time, don't fake the love, face the truth. Hello and welcome to Bedroom Chronicles. I am Mercury Risings, your host, and today we're going to be putting love on the hot seat. We're going to be talking about honesty and not saying just what we feel is safe in the bedroom or within our relationship. So I have a few questions that I'm going to pose to the viewers, and if you like, I would like you to call in at 770-485-7724. So here we go with the first question. How soon do you think you should wait before you intimate in a new relationship? So callers, please call in if you'd like to respond, 770-485-7724. And I'll start by giving you my response. So how soon do you think you should wait for intimacy after a breakup? Personally, it kind of is tricks in between. If you usually somebody, let's say your ex-partner or your new partner may, if you're breaking up, you normally have somebody else in mind already, normally. So if you already have somebody lined up, then being intimate can be as easy as the next day or the same night. You just letting the past person know, your ex know, okay, we're not going to be together anymore. So, and all you got to do is say, okay, thank you for the experience, and go on, or the lesson, and move on to the next one. But some people, depending on how deep they were into a relationship, which means that they may not have anybody lined up for a replacement, that they will be taking 6 months, a year, sometimes 2 years, sometimes even more before they get involved with someone else in an intimate, because they want to have that past person completely out of their system. You don't want to bring that old luggage into a new relationship. So it's always good to do healing before you move on to the next person in line. And I can say that I think my last breakup probably was 2 years, a little over 2 years. So I basically been just dating myself. So I take myself out to dinner, I take myself out to a movie. Occasionally I may go with a friend, but normally it's just solo. So you can turn that around, and all the love that you have for somebody else, just feed it to yourself. Ooh, it's getting hot in here. But anyway, callers, please call in, 770-485-7724. Help me with this question while I move to the next one. How soon? Okay, so in between these two questions, you can call in. Moving forward, how can you introduce your partner to anal sex? This one should take a long time to answer. Ooh. How? Okay, let's say if you're heterosexual, or if you're on the LGBTQ side, the process is a little different, so I've been told. I would say, from my conversations with the LBQT group, is basically they do certain things where they prepare for the experience. Now, this is only a few people. This is not questionnaire research. So what I've been told was they go through a cleaning process. They go through a cleaning process. Well, it's going to just be for that day. You're just going to go to the store and get... Hold on just a second. Bedroom Chronicles.
Hey, what's up, Mercury's? What's going on?
Oh, nothing much. How are you?
Good afternoon. I can't complain.
Oh.
It's partly sunny, partly cloudy, so I can't complain. I'm on this side of the dirt.
This sounds like Tacoma.
It is.
Oh, nice to hear from you.
Nice to hear from you, too. Tell Felix I said, what's happening?
I will. Felix, Tacoma said, what's happening? He said, what's up, what's up?
What's up? Good to hear his voice.
Yeah. Well, thank you for calling in today. Which question are you going to help me out with?
I don't know. I tuned in because I tuned in a little earlier, but you weren't on yet.
Oh, okay.
That last thing I heard was about introducing anal sex.
Yes, so that's the second question. So the first question was, how soon should you wait for intimacy after a breakup? And then my response basically was, it depends on how much you're into that person, how in love you was with that person. If it may be that person, if that person already have someone lined up already, then your ex, that person gonna get into sex on an early start. Or it can be you, and you just might go the same day or the next day if you already have somebody that you have in mind. But
Yeah.
but also for somebody that wants to do some healing, it can take a year, 2 years, or 3 before they get into intimacy with another in another relationship. Even though they might be in a relationship, they not sexually involved.
Yes. Yeah.
So what are your thoughts on that one?
The time between intimacy between one and after a breakup, you're right. I agree with you. It depends, but I say, how long does it take to wash a set of sheets and dry them? That's how long it should take.
Really? So that's like same day.
If you got a washer and dryer in your house,
Yeah,
same day. If
same
you got to
day.
go to one of the laundromats, depending on how crowded it can be, it may take a few hours. But that sounds about right.
So would you say that whoever initiates the breakup already have somebody in mind?
No,
No?
not always that way. No, but all jokes aside, really, it does depend. If your heart was in it, which I would expect the person, their heart to be in it, it could take anywhere from maybe a year to maybe 8 months into a year and a half. And I can't speak for all men, but men don't wait as long as women.
Women do.
And but as I get older and my eyes are becoming more hip to what's going on out there, because a man of a certain age, some women don't wait that long no more. It's a new world out there.
It is. Most definitely a new world. So, thanks for helping with that question. And the second question was, how do you introduce your partner to anal sex? And I was...
You don't.
Yeah, you do. Some do. Some do. Not everybody. It's not for everybody.
It's funny that you say that, because just a few weeks ago, I was thinking of my mindset like 20, 30 years ago. And now I say, I'm just like, I was at that. It ain't, and with women of a certain age, they're not trying to hear that. They are not trying to hear that shit no more. Ain't no sex.
Yeah.
I don't even. That's not even a topic of conversation anymore.
Because LGBTQ, that's their thing. But it still should be a question. I think any age, even if you starting out at 18 or 19, because I recall in my county, the school age kids, high school kids were having anal sex, and the reason they gave for having anal sex was that they were avoiding getting pregnant. So, which if you do that way, you're not going to get pregnant. So, but you can get some other things, but pregnancy wasn't one of them. And then, as you get, I'll say as I got older, in my background, a little medical, that's not something that I would be interested in, because I'm looking at all the other things that can come from that. So like you got anal tears, that's very painful. You got parasite infections. That's a whole different wormhole all by itself. And when you get those parasite infections, those things are hard to get rid of. You got to take a slew of medication or herbal medication to get rid of those. And some people don't understand that. Okay, you can go back there and toss some salad, and you can swallow a couple of lava eggs. So, but they don't. But the young people don't think about those. And you in your 20s, maybe even 30s, you're not thinking about what's coming out from back there that can still be back there. But
you damn sure ain't thinking about that in that moment.
No, you're not.
In that moment, no client's passion, you are not thinking about the medical side.
No, you're not.
And I remember like 3 years ago, when I was that whole thing, you would always take your approach from the medical side.
Right.
And which is good, which is always good. It's a great thing. I would never knock it. But like I said, I was young once. It may enter your mind briefly, and I do mean briefly, but I wasn't out there wild like that. I wasn't out there. But, they don't think about that nowadays.
Nope.
And they hitting it from the back door so they won't get pregnant. So they won't get pregnant. They just taking the page out of Monica Lewinsky's book.
True much. Yep. So, introducing your partner to anal sex, that can be a big thing. But if you decide that you want to do it, ladies, gentlemen, it is. I think one thing you need to take into consideration is the size of his prick. So because you can't, if it's a little anaconda, then you're gonna have to maneuver a certain way with that, and the best way to do that is semi-hard. You can't have it when it's fully erect, because it's going to be too painful and it's going to definitely tear.
That would take all. I would think that would take all the fun out of it.
But it's
out of all the women that on my journey, I can I can't even say honestly, because I know I can't. Maybe it was said and I forgot about it. But I can vividly remember one. Let's just say one out of 7 women in the last 20 years that said they were into anal sex, and I was like, really? And I was like, but going into that relationship, I said that there was not going to be any physicality. It wasn't like that. But if I was approached with that, let's say 20 years ago, I would have been like, oh, this is. Where have you been all my life? But when she said that, it raised an eyebrow, and I was like, but I already made my decision. I was not going to, make it a physical relationship. But I was like, just as I got older and just making more wiser decisions, I'm sure it worked out for the best. As a matter of fact, I know it worked out for the best.
Yeah, because I remember my friends, mostly my military friends, they called it packing peanut butter. And that does make sense, because you got to realize what you going into. And then I was mentioning that the LGBTQ community shared with me that they do a cleaning process before they engage. Like, they just go to the store, get them a enema, whatever kind of enema they're going to use. But the enema only going to clear that first 8 inches. So, and to me, that could be a little disturbing, because some of those enemas are a little strong, and it may irritate the area a little, or make the area a little bit more irritating when you do engage. But at least it'll be clean. But you might set yourself up for an infection. So, but yeah, so that's the only advice I can give, is basically, if it's the size would be the biggest issue, so you do it when it's semi-hard. And if the size is not an issue, then you might want to use some lubrication, and you need to get the lubrication that's closest to your body pH, like not baby oil, definitely not Vaseline. Vaseline harbor bacteria. So you want to get one of those other gels or something. They got anal ease though. You can get that from the toy store, which I call it the sex toy store. Some anal ease. But,
okay.
But yeah.
All right. You would know more than that, because last time I've been in a toy store. What year was that? Hey, good 7 years.
Wow.
Good 7 years. It's just all of a sudden that interest in going to a sex shop just fell off like on the edge of a cliff.
Wow.
But not that I have anything against it. It's like, oh, okay. Yeah, but and I think I learned about the enemas. I think either, like I said before, a previous episode over, Chronicles Chronicles, or I probably saw it on on TV on one of these series. But yeah, that would make sense.
It
would make sense.
It does make sense. But that's on the LGBTQ side, on the heterosexual side now, I haven't been. They never told me anything about them cleaning out the last 8 inches. If it's a woman and a man, they just go for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you're gonna have,
Yeah.
you might have some peanut butter down there on the tip. And the other thing is, if you're doing anal sex, you don't go back front. If you go once in the front then back, front then back, but
either
never.
stay there or,
Yeah, but
you know,
not.
yeah.
Yeah, because that's gonna cause you to be swallowing some flagell. So. Yeah.
That is true. That is
So
true.
this, yeah, you don't want
Don't need
that.
no
No.
doctor visits.
No cross contamination. No, none of that. So, but
Yeah,
some
Ain't
people
no
don't
salmonella
listen.
poison. No salmonella poisoning.
Right, but some people don't care. They just want that experience for that moment. They're gonna lick and suck and all that front and back and kiss and all of that and just go for it and think about the pill later. But
yeah. Now, even when I was in my 20s, I would still, proceed with caution. I still wouldn't, you go through the back door and then the front door and then back and forth. So I still wouldn't have done that in my 20s.
Okay. Well, yeah. So, anything you want to add to, and any suggestions you want to add to that, Tacoma?
Yeah, I like I said before, if women of a certain age, they'll, I have been asked, are you into that? And I'll say no, and they'd be like, good, because, I'm not either. I was like, oh, okay. Well, I always said, what if I said yes, But there was one woman, she asked me like I knew the answer to the question. She was like, how come all these men want to fuck me in my ass? I was like, how would I know? I mean, but have you seen your ass? That could be it, but always, with that particular one, always asking me a question that would make me ask another question. I was like, yeah, this is something that she's telling me or not telling me. So I was like, yeah, I don't know the answer to that question.
I had I think the area that I worked in is a pretty hefty gay community there. So when we would sit down, we would have conversations, and they would say stuff like, well, if a man ever asks you to go in the back door, you should think twice about why that man is asking you to go in the back door, because normally that's not something a man do with a woman. I'm like, where he come from? Men do that with women all the time. But it did also set up a little radar, but still, men do that with women all the time. So
yeah, and it could be a thing of exposure, overexposure, because I see like on the porn sites, you'll see that constantly, and if that's all, if a guy's just watching that, a lot of that's what he thinks, oh, that's what women want, then he may go out there and test the waters to see if she's into that,
No. Nope. Well, how much time you got today, Tacoma?
How much time you got? Nah, not really. I was getting ready to just to take care of a couple other things, but if you had another question, I could do one more question.
Okay, one more question. Okay. Why do you think the roles have changed during the dating stage? Meaning that men want to be chased and pampered when women are now more aggressive, especially when it comes to sex.
Social media.
Really?
Social media is the answer. Your algorithms, depending on what you're watching, then you get fed more of either anti-women or anti-men, and then you're constantly watching that, and like say like for a woman, men ain't this and men ain't shit, or men, and women we are blah blah blah, and we need to keep doing this, and you hear that 30, 40 times a day, 4, 5, 6, 7 times a week, that sits on your subconscious, and then same thing for men, so that's I say social media is the devil. Always, I've heard that like 30 years ago, and as I get older, I believe it even more so now. So if society got off of social media, more, and we got back to interfacing, personal, and get to know a person instead of what they push down your throats, try to cram down your throats, we would find out, hey, not every woman or 9/10 of every woman, think like that, think along those lines. So I think that's the reason for it. Role chasing. Excuse me, role changing.
Okay. So what about the men wanting to be, okay, that's still part of it, but just specifically looking at today how men, the roles just switch a little bit, with the men want to be chased and pampered, and the women just want going after just the sex, because I was thinking more like the women are now more in their masculine stage than their feminine. They're more in touch with their masculine side than their feminine side. And a lot of men are more in touch with their feminine side instead of their masculine side, which when it comes to the man, from what I've read, he needs to be able to pull that woman back into her feminine side. You know, the masculinity and the femininity, yeah. So, but anyway.
Again, it's again, we're all the same but yet different. You know, there's if you want to look like a threshold. A man should be in touch with his feminine side to a threshold, not beyond that.
Okay.
You know, and vice versa for the women. You know, if you're going beyond that, I have no experience with that. I can't tell you. You know, I know how I do, but I guess it was just ingrained in me. Again, man of a certain age, I feel guilty if I wanted to be pampered that much. You know, because if a woman tries to pamper me too much, it makes me feel like I'm taking advantage of her, and I don't like that. You know, I just no, let me do this. Let me, you know, let me open the doors. Let me do this. Let me assist you with that. You know, if you want to make me a sandwich or something, fine. You know, but you don't have to chew it for me. You know, but that's just me. You know, but again, social media is just all the images that you're seeing. You know, and I had a cousin that he stayed home and his girl went out and worked, and he was perfectly fine with that. You know, her showering him with gifts and all that stuff. And I was like, I don't know how you do it. It just wouldn't sit well with me. You know, even though he's like 8 years younger than me, I said maybe it's that, you know, that generation, but not boomers. And we're too set in our ways to you know, be reprogrammed, and not programmed in a bad way. It's just like, no, it just let me take charge. It's, you know, because all my adult life I've heard women say, I'm tired. I need a break. You know, I want a man to, you know, help me with this, a helpmate, or, you know, or take charge. He's the head of the household. But the women now, that younger generation, and those in their 20s and 30s, and sometimes pushing, you know, 40. I would hate to be a young man in today's society. I would not.
Wow. Interesting. Well, because I wouldn't say that. I agree with what you said, but I think I might be a little bit more on the aggressive side, unless it's when it comes to the sex part. Unless the man actually says, and I've had him say, "Let me be the man," but that's because I'm a loner. So I've been doing everything what the female's supposed to do, what the male's supposed to do. I'm the only person doing it. So right. So if I meet a man and he said, "Okay, let me be the man," I know how to let him be the man, but I also know how to be aggressive. So.
And that's exactly what took place, and it was unfortunately by design, you know, to break down, you know, the black household, and you know, so here's the thing. So if a woman, when she finally, you know, links up with that man, if the man says, "Hey, listen, you know, I'm here now, you know, relax, take, you know, sit back, let me do this," if she can hear that and take that chill pill and just fall back, then it's good. But if she's like, she doesn't hear him, or she's stubborn, then that's when it's like, you know, like I always used to hear, like, you know, two women can't work in the kitchen at the same time, or you know, two men can't, you know. Even though I've never heard like two men, you know, because you know, men get along well, you know, it's like, you know, we can discuss the whole day's events in less than 5 minutes. You know, we go shopping, you know, we walk in the store to get what we need and walk out, you know, so we're again wired different. But you know, women's got to be able to say, if you've been complaining that, you know, I've been doing this and I need a break, when you finally get that man, take that well-deserved break and just fall back and let him do what he's built to do.
Yep, I totally agree. So, well, Tacoma, thank you for calling. Appreciate your.
You got it.
Appreciate your response.
All right, you enjoy the rest of the day.
You too.
All right, later.
All right, bye-bye. Well, viewers, that was Tacoma Washington. Y'all remember Tacoma Washington, the past co-host? Thank you for calling, Tacoma. Appreciate your responses. And ladies and gentlemen, on number 3, there were some good points, because if a woman is in her masculinity more so than her feminine side, in touch more with her masculine side than her feminine side, then yes, she is going to come off like she is displaying manly traits. But like I also said, when a woman has to be both the man of the house and the woman of the house, and you've been doing it for years, it's a little harder to fall back and let that man take on his role. But he needs to also, or you need to let him know that it's okay if he can be the man, and you know how to step back and be the woman. So rocking 2 roles is a little hard, but when you have no choice, you got to do it. So the next question is, why do you, for the next question, it's time for a break, okay? Be right back.
Hi, my name is Lauren, and welcome to TV 1061. Join our network and broadcast your film live across the continent. Come to our studio and film and stream your TV show, sitcom, and showcase and broadcast it worldwide. Combine multimedia with your live stream. Independent filmmakers show your movie and afterwards interview your cast live. Sponsors, advertisers, I'm talking to you. This is your chance for global exposure. These are exciting times that we're in. Traditional TV is but a thing of the past. TV 1061 is on the Roku platform. Roku is an industry leader in internet TV. It has a viewership of 53 million and counting. It is the most popular and fastest growing internet TV platform. If you are interested in developing and showcasing your movie or show, or interested in coming in as a sponsor or advertiser, please send us your contact information with a brief description of your interest to 1061tv@gmail.com. Thank you. Hi.
Good afternoon. I'm Lieutenant Elmer Horn with Douglas County Sheriff's Office, and we're here in one of our communities, and Sheriff Pounds is here with us. And Sheriff Pounds is very involved in his communities, and he come out. We brought out our grill and our smoker so we can come out and help cook for this community. And Sheriff Pounds himself has come out and helped cook with us, and he's here to cook and help these folks today.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. This is one of the programs that I call Taking My Community Back. If you don't get out there and get involved in your community, you ain't gonna be able to get it back. And the sad part about it, we losing our young men at such a pace that it's unreal. We got to come up with something that will help us with these children. Got to. So this is what I'm doing. I love it. I'm out here in the sun. It's hot, but like I said earlier, we're gonna do these until we get that gap between law enforcement and the community bridge. We're gonna bridge that gap, because we're gonna get out of here, we're gonna shake hands, we're gonna find out if they got any kind of problem we can assist them with, and invite them to the sheriff's office and come to the roll call. Just come see what's going on at the office. Thank y'all so much for being here.
Thank you, Sheriff Pounds. And like I said, this is just one of many events that we bring this grill out to help with our communities and get involved. I'm here today at one of our community outreach days with our sound truck. And our sound truck is used for just what you see. We come out to community days, we play loud music, and be able to just have a good time with it and enjoy our community. Our sheriff's office, you get to see us in a little different light. We're not always out there writing tickets or locking people up. We come out to your community day and be a part of your day and help you celebrate your community. And this is just one of the ways that we can do that, was with our sound truck. We're here today in one of our communities. We brought our ice cream truck out. A lot of people like to laugh when I say the sheriff's office owns an ice cream truck, but this is exactly what it's for, is we bring it out to our communities. We give away ice cream. We don't charge for the ice cream. The ice cream is free. And we have partners in our businesses in our community that help pay for the ice cream so that we can give it away for free. And we give it away. We go to schools. This is just one of many events that we bring our ice cream truck to. We go to the school systems. We come out to community days, block parties. We just come out and see you and help you enjoy and celebrate your community. Thank you.
Hi, I'm your host, Mercury's Rises, and welcome to Bedroom Chronicles, the show where couples or singles go deep, cut the crap, and face the real questions that make or break relationships. The show is informative and mesmerizing. Tonight, we are putting love on the hot seat. Are they being honest with each other, or are they just saying what is safe? Let's find out if real love starts when real truth is spoken. We have call-in guests and live interviews. Whether you heal together or apart, you owe each other honesty. That's it for tonight's Bedroom Chronicles. Until the next time, don't fake the love, face the truth. Welcome back to Bedroom Chronicles. I'm your host, Mercury's Rising, and today we are talking about relationships. And we're putting love on the hot seat by being honest with each other, and also by not just saying what you may feel is safe. So we've been having a little discussion about intimacy. How soon after a relationship should you be intimate? And we had a guest caller, Tacoma. He called in and said, like, it can be as quick as you wash the sheets on the bed. It might take a little while longer if you had to drive to the laundromat, and if you had to wait because the laundromat was a little crowded. And also, we just went over the fact that maybe if you're really into that person, I don't know why we want to, well, and one party, so the party that's really into the person may take a little bit longer because obviously the person that's into that person did not break it off. So it may take a little longer for that particular person, maybe a year. He said a year and a half. I say a year to 3 years, because you got to do healing, and healing takes a minute. Because you're going to go through some thoughts in your head that if you with somebody new, you don't want them to see you going through that process of, oh, why are you feeling this way? Or why are you responding to me that way? It's because you're thinking about some thoughts from the past relationship. So you want to get all that out of your system before you step into something new. And also you might want to buy some new sheets. New relationship, new sheets. New sheet sets. And also we talked about anal sex. How do you introduce your partner to anal sex? He said you don't. I said you do. And because, I say you do because you want to know what their sexual expectation is in the relationship. So you want to know if they're willing to go that far or they're not. And in some cases, he said back in the day, older women would ask that question and they didn't, because they weren't interested in it. And 20s and your teens, you're like 18, 19, 20s, 30s, sometimes early 40s, they may not be into it. But women 40, 50, 60, some are into it. I don't know why, but everybody got their own cream they like in their coffee. But anyway, so we also explore what the LGBTQ community have said, and I've learned from them on both sides. So basically, the LGBTQ side, I had a couple of gay friends, male and female, but most of them males. Some in their 30s, 40s, even 60s. And they said that the number one thing that they get out of it is, and this is just for the people that I know, I can't speak for the other folks, is that the prostate gets stimulated. And I said, okay, so women can't match that because women don't have a prostate. Medical stuff, term points. So anyway, and there's two things that come out of a gay encounter an anal encounter with a man is the man's muscles for his cheeks are much stronger than a female muscles, unless she a weight builder. something like that, and she got some cheeks that can crack a nut or something like that. But the muscle for a male is much stronger than the muscle for a female. So the muscle for the male in the anus area squeezes the penis tighter, and then when he ejaculates, when he comes, it skeets out. Like you bend a water hose, you know how skeeting, and this is my example, I'll say. You take a water hose and you bend it, and then the water skeet far, and then if you loosen up some, the water come back down a little. The stream of the water is a little slower. But so that's one difference, because a woman can't cause a man to skeet at the strength that female can. Did I say that right? Well, anyway, the butt cheek of a man is going to squeeze it like this, going to skeet all the way over there. But a woman might be just a little more softer and gentler and just skeet right there. So that's two things that a woman and a man has that a woman has no way of getting even near. So that's on the LGBTQ side, from what I've been informed personally, not what I experienced, what I've been informed. So my other suggestion was you have to pay attention to the man's size of his prick, because you don't want to cause damage to yourself. Males, I think that'll work on your side too, but once you've been doing it for a while, that elastic tissue at the entrance is gonna loosen up, and sometimes it loosens up to the point where you can see right on through to a few inches. So you want to be a little cognitive of the sizes, or even how frequently you're doing it now. And I can say I've witnessed the size of those holes, but that's because of some past positions I've worked in. I've witnessed some of those, but it's just better if you you size it up and don't make it a frequent thing. And also we talked about cross-contamination, that some people just do it for the moment, because for the sexual experience, they don't care about the cross-contamination, because once you go in the front, you're in the front, and then you go to the back. You're not supposed to go from back to front. Unless maybe if you had a condom on, then you could. But if you're not using a condom, if you bareback, and then no, you shouldn't do that. And I can say all of this when I was in college. Basically, this is what my thesis was basically on. Well, my thesis is on how HIV affects Black women. So, in answering my thesis question, a lot of it had to do with the gay community, and men being on the down low and not telling their partner that they're interested in both sex, or that they're bisexual or whatever. So and I found out so much information that was way past my cognitive level. But anyway, it was a learning experience. So I had to end up doing a lot of interviews with LGBTQ community to get the questions answered that I needed for my thesis. But back to how to introduce your partner to anal sex. And the last thing I think I said about that was that depending on the size, so if you got a pinky, I'm just gonna say a pinky, but not many men have pinky size. Okay, we'll go with thumb. If you got a thumb size, then that should be okay. You might just want a little bit of oil, but particularly not baby oil. Well, just lubricant is always better. And because they said they give the lubricant basically the pH of the body. But baby oil, definitely not Vaseline, because Vaseline is too thick. Might work good, but it's too thick, and it's going to harbor bacteria. So You think, ladies, you can think about that size. Now, Tacoma was saying that may take away from the pleasure of it all, which is the pain. But the person that's bending over is feeling the pain, not the one that's standing up. So you have to be, a little considerate of how much pain that person should be enduring or is willing to endure. So you might want to think about axing. Now, male on male, if that person been doing it for a while, they probably have no problem with it. They probably don't even want any lubricant. They probably just go dry. But you still need to ask your partner. So that takes care of the first two questions. Third question was about the dating stage and how the dating scene has changed. Basically, women are more aggressive now and pursuing men just for sex, and men now are more laid back and want to be pampered and chased. So that's the role switch. Maybe it has something to do with the pole switch. Never know. But anyway, this has been going on for a while anyway. So the last question is, why do you think dating is so stressful? And I'm going to ask that one for myself. I'm going to answer that one. So why do I think dating is so stressful? No, I think dating is stressful only when you're going to date somebody brand new. If you're dating someone that's from the past or somebody that you dated for, then that may not be that stressful. But if you're dating someone that's brand new, you have never, first time going out on a date, that's the stressful part. So how should you look? What should you wear? How much makeup should you wear? Should you actually put on lipstick or should you just put on some lip gloss? Stressful. Men may not think that's stressful, but that's stressful. Should I wear my own hair or should I wear my wig? What does he like about my appearance? Well, you can always ask him, do you prefer me with my natural hair or do you prefer me with my other people's hair? What type of lipstick do you like? What shade, what color is your preference? Okay, let me see if I have it. Not that I'm going to change my colors for him, but if it's a good color for me and he likes it, then I'll wear it. Like, I like red, I like gold, but I don't like purple. So I like fuchsia, which is a different shade of purple, but I don't like purple. So you have to just ask him what he like. If you are up to appeasing his likes, but again, he may not would ask you out if he didn't like something about you physically that he saw on the outside. And it didn't have to be your figure. It could have just been your facial features. Maybe he just liked your lips, or maybe he just liked the line of your face. Maybe he just liked your natural curly locks. Or maybe he just liked you, period, all of that. He just liked the conversation that you have with him. He liked how he feels when he's in your presence. So there are a lot of things that could make it a little bit more stressful if you just communicate with that person. And I don't think you probably overthinking things when you getting ready for that first date. Like I had a friend that went out on a date last night. So let's say she's in her 40s and he's in his 60s. But her friends have always been telling her that she should date an older man. And I said, well, I asked her, where did you go? She said, oh, we went to the movies. I said, well, what did you wear? She said, well, I just had on a white linen shirt and some jeans and the heels. It's comfortable and cute. And I said, well, how did your hair look? She said, oh, I had a ponytail. Not too much work, but easy. So, and apparently when he met her, that's not how she looked, because she was at work when he met her. She basically in uniform. So they went to see Superman. I think I'll go see Superman today. But anyway, just don't stress yourself out when it comes to going out on that first date. Ask him what he's wearing. So maybe you could say, okay, he's wearing jeans and tennis shoes or jeans and some sandals. Okay, so you don't want to overdress him when he's going out. Just communicate these things. Oh, I have a caller. Hold on, be right back. Hello, this is Mercury's.
Hello?
Hello. Who am I speaking with? Hello.
Yes.
Who am I speaking with?
Janice?
Oh, Janice, can you turn, I think that's your TV in the background. I can hear it pretty clearly. Can you turn it down, please?
Yes. Okay, it's muted.
Well, hi.
I was calling about your last question that
Oh.
you asked.
Why do you?
Relationships are so hard or stressful?
Okay, so why do you think relationships are, if you're dating that is, why is dating is so stressful? You said Janet?
Yes.
Okay.
Janice.
Okay, Janice. I'm Mercury's Janice. Nice to meet you, and thank you for calling in. But go ahead on and share. Share with your
I think most relationships are hard or stressful because of different communication styles or poor listening or unrealistic expectations of why they do stuff they do, stuff like that. Different vows and views and a lot of things.
Oh, so you're going past the first date. You're going into the relationship and what makes it stressful. So you saying that their way of thinking?
Yes.
So their way of thinking is what their expectation compared to yours?
Yes.
Give me an example. Are you dating?
Yes, I am.
Okay, so tell me specifically what you find stressful.
Emotional baggage from the past relationship. Coming into a new relationship.
Well, so Janice, are you just coming on now because I spoke about that earlier, that you should have some time to heal.
Yes, that's true. But I did heal from my last relationship, but the person that I'm with has not healed from his last relationship. So I felt like he was bringing all his emotional trauma from that relationship to this relationship.
So have you pointed that out to him?
Yes, I have.
And what was his response?
He said he was going to try his best not to compare the relationship and focus more on our relationship than his past relationship.
Now, you said a key word right there, comparison.
Yes.
And men do that. Because what men, and I'll say my perspective on men doing that is that men, so let's say a man had 10 relationships in the last 20 years. He had 10 relationships in the last 20 years. And it's one woman out of those 10 women that he is going to compare every woman to. And it may not even be the woman that he is with currently. So it's one woman in that group that he's going to compare every woman to, because basically she fit the criteria of the woman that he wants in his life. Now, when he let her go, he might have thought, oh, I can do some more shopping. If she's this good, there got to be somebody else out there that's better. But in doing his shopping, he's not finding someone with all of those values that this particular woman may have had. You get me? So that's where he continued to compare. Now, some of them tell you, a man may tell you, oh, you cook really good, but my last girlfriend, she hardly cooked at all. Oh, you clean really good. You clean more than she has cleaned, and she's been here for 5 years. So I would say don't take those things, even though he's comparing you, and it seems like he's comparing you like in a light way, not a dark way. He's comparing you like his comparison might be a compliment, but he needs to learn how to make that compliment individually to you, and not where he had said, oh, my last partner didn't, and he can just say, well, you are a really good cook. I haven't had a meal like this in 5 years. But you know who was cooking for him 5 years ago. He is not saying it, but you know.
Yes.
So it shouldn't. And my thing is, this just personally me. I wouldn't let that bother me. I would think that's kind of small. But just let him get it out, because evidently that's what he needs to get out. And
I let him vent.
yeah, as time passed, then he might stop or slow down on comparing you to those women. So, but just continue to do all the nice positive things that you do. So, do he ever say you stress him out in any kind of way when it comes to emotional?
No, he says I'm his peace.
You his peace, girl. That's the best thing to be. If you can be a man's peace, I would like.
Before we came into a relationship.
Look, you did what?
I said we were friends before we got into a relationship.
Oh, so how long have you known him?
Over 30 years.
You've known him for over 30 years?
Yes.
And y'all are just getting into a relationship?
Well, back into another relationship.
Oh, another. So 30 years, you've known him for 30 years. Y'all dated at one point when that 30 years broke up and then you got back together?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Cool. Cool. So I guess some people say you shouldn't go back. So how's going back? Is it different?
It's different this time around, because first time around we were teenagers.
Oh.
So now that we're adults, it's more, communication. It's better this time around than it was last first time.
And communication.
As we're older.
Yeah, communication is definitely key for any relationship. Even if it's not a boyfriend, girlfriend, or intimate relationship, communication is still key in any relationship. You gotta definitely put that to the forefront, because if you can't communicate effectively with your partner, things get lost and then it's over. Because it might just be a communication issue, and then for the next thing you know, it's gone. So.
Right.
Yep. So, what made y'all get back together this time?
I was single, but he always expressed that he still was in love with me and wanted to be with me.
Mm-hmm.
And then we talked about it a couple of times. And then finally I said, okay, well, I'll give it a go around a second time and see how it would go.
Mm-hmm.
And so far it's been good.
Oh, nice. So, what I'm hearing from you is that maturity is a play in this as well, because you dated when you were teenagers, and then you broke up, and now as adults, mature, older adults, that is different. So, but that's good. Congratulations on that.
Thank you.
So, how long have you been watching the show today? Did you catch any of the other questions?
No, I didn't take it to other, but I was scrolling and I saw that it was posted, so I just checked it to see what it was all about.
Well, thank you for checking. Let me ask you this question. Mm-hmm. So, since you and him dated already, this is one of the questions I have for today, and now y'all getting back together again within 30 years. How long did you wait before y'all made that move for the bedroom?
About maybe 3-4 months. 3
or 4 months? That long? That's a long time.
Yeah, it's a long time.
Because
I had to trust him again.
So trust. Yeah. Trust is that's the second number one. That's the second thing on the list. So you got communication number 1, trust number 2. I would put honesty for number 3 for me. Now I put honesty as number 1. Honesty have to be number 1 for me, then communication, and then oh wow, honesty and trust got to go hand in hand now. It should be honesty / trust. But wow. So how do you feel about you and your partner on anal sex. Have he ever introduced you to that?
Okay, I tried it one time. I didn't like it.
One time?
Yeah, I tried it one time. And then I said, okay. He asked again. So I tried it a second time. The second time wasn't so bad as the first time. I kind of enjoyed the second time.
Oh.
So anal sex for me, it's okay if they be gentle, not too rough.
See, and that's kind of what I was saying earlier. So since you missed that part of the show, and I was also talking about the size of the prick, because if the prick is too big and you're not using any lubrication with a large man is still going to be painful. It's best to do it when he is semi-hard, semi-erect. What you think?
Right.
Yeah, and just let it grow. Just let it grow while it's inside you.
Yeah, that's true. But for me, how I let him do it, I'll lay on my stomach, and I'll put one leg further up than the other one, and just relax, and it just go right in.
Oh.
With lubricant.
Oh. Because I have one of my.
Or on your side.
On
Those
your
are
side.
two easy positions.
So one leg up in the air, you on your stomach and one leg up in the.
You're on your stomach, and you're gonna pull one leg up towards your chest, and the other one gonna be down.
One leg towards your chest and the other one down.
Let's say you're sleeping on your stomach, and you pull one leg up and you leave the other one down.
Okay, I got you.
Or on your side.
Cause my gay friends, they told me you should bear down like you having a bowel movement, and that makes it easier. It makes it easier for entrance. Who wants to do that?
Yeah, that would too.
Nobody wants to bear down like they're having a bowel movement. What if you actually just shoot out a turd? Come on now. But anyway,
it may sound like it's kind of awkward and rough, but it's easier to go in if you won't feel much. I
can see that it opens it up. I can see that. I'm trying to visualize it. I can see if you bear down like you're having a bowel movement, that's going to actually open it up. Well, Janice, I really appreciate you calling in. Please call back next week Saturday. We are on every Saturday from 1 to 2. Until then,
all right. Miss Mercury Rising, thank you for having me.
Thank you, Miss Janice. See you soon. All right. Okay, Felix. I did, didn't I? Oh, wow, still alive. Well, thank you all for joining me today. Shout out to Tacoma, Washington. Man, please call back next week. You know I'll be sitting right here. And also take into heed those tips, those medical tips, those health tips on what to do and what not to do when it comes to these sexual maneuvers you guys are doing out there. You got to be safe and disease-free, infection-free. All right, until next time. Mercury's out. Hi, I'm your host, Mercury's Rises, and welcome to Bedroom Chronicles, the show where couples or singles go deep, cut the crap, and face the real questions that make or break relationships. The show is informative and mesmerizing. Tonight, we are putting love on the hot seat. Are they being honest with each other, or are they just saying what is safe? Let's find out if real love starts when real truth is spoken. We have call-in guests and live interviews. Whether you heal together or apart, you owe each other honesty. That's it for tonight's Bedroom Chronicles. Until the next time, don't fake the love, face the truth.